morning, everybody. I'm doing a quick sound check just to make sure that you guys can hear me. So let me check on that. Brian. All right, check, check. Can you hear me? Yay! So I hope everybody had a very Merry Christmas and got to spend some time with their families. And now as we come back to the mat, we can center ourselves and just start to appreciate each moment. And we'll begin by just finding our breath and doing just that. So go ahead and get into a comfortable seated position, whatever feels good this morning. And back's nice and straight, shoulders relaxed. We can just start by listening to the sound of our breath. With every exhale, try to just release another worry or another thought, another to-do list. Quiet the mind. We'll press both palms together at our heart center. Let our chin sink to our chest. And set our intention for our practice here this morning. Think about what you hope to get out of your time on the mat. And lifting our heads, we can release the hands back down to our knees. And just slowly making those circles on the mat with our rib cage, trying to make sure we get into all areas of the hip here. And we'll go in the opposite direction. And coming up through center, we'll do our seated cat-cow breathing. As we inhale, open up the chest and look up. As you exhale, we're going to roll back on that tailbone, tucking everything in, chin to chest. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Go ahead and do one more. Inhale. And exhale. Coming back up to our neutral spine. Let the left ear go to the left shoulder. Keep those shoulders relaxed. And we'll come up through center and let the right ear come to the right shoulder. Up through center. As we go to the left this time, go ahead and plant that left hand down on the mat, and our right hand is going to reach up to the sky. Look up to the hand. Really try to lengthen that right side. And then go ahead and reach all the way over into a side stretch. Keep both of our sits bones anchored firmly on our mat. Keep those shoulders open and stacked. Inhale back up to center. And go over to the right side. So left hand up, just straight up first. Really lengthen that left side. And then fold over, gently bending the right elbow, keeping those shoulders open. Up through center. We'll walk those hands out in front of us and gently let those elbows sink towards the earth. Relax the spine and the neck. Let the head grow heavy. It feels like I haven't practiced forever, so this feels really good. Walking our hands back up so we can come to a seated position. Go ahead and switch which leg you have in front. And again, we're going to walk our hands forward, letting those elbows gently lower to the earth, surrendering our head. And walk our hands back up to center. We'll go ahead and open the legs up a little bit more, coming to our bound angle pose. So the soles of our feet are pressed together. Our backs are still nice and straight. You can hook your pointer fingers around those big toes if you want. Or if you need to go to your ankles or shins this morning, whatever feels comfortable. And gently bounce those knees. Go ahead and do our butterflies, they call them. Get those hip joints nice and moving here. All right, bringing the knees together, we're going to go ahead and straighten out our legs in front of us, coming into a staff pose. Back is nice and straight, tall, reaching up, our crown of our head reaching up to the sky. Shoulders relaxed. Flex those toes. Point the toes. Flex. And point. Flex. And point. And just with relaxed legs now, we're going to go ahead and fold forward gently. Think about trying to release the back, and the neck is loose so the head can be heavy. And with every exhale, just try to let go a little bit more of your tension. All right, as we roll back up to a seated position, we're going to bring those fingertips to our shoulders and gently twist. And slowing down, we'll return to center. Open up those arms, let them come behind us. And we're going to press into the heels of our feet, lifting our pelvis up, coming into a reverse plank. Go ahead and lower back down to the mat. We're going to swing those legs around and come to our tabletop position, all fours. Make sure that our knees are in line with those hips and that they're hip distance apart, and that our wrists are in line with the shoulders. Keep the fingers sprayed open nice and wide. Help relieve some of the tension on our wrist. You always have the option to make your fist here if your wrists are not cooperating today. And let's go ahead and make small circles. We'll go in the opposite direction. And come back to center. Let the toes touch. Our knees will be as wide as our mat as we push those hips back to our heels. And then go ahead and sink into your mat, coming into an active child's pose. Forehead resting on the surface. If you need to pull your hands back or stack them even, find a really comfortable spot here. Roll back up to our tabletop, keeping those knees a little bit wider. Left hand will stay planted and the right hand is going to reach up. Now as we do this, we're imagining those hands separating as far apart from each other as possible. But don't forget about that core. Are you pulling your belly in right now? Go ahead and release the right hand down and we'll bring the left hand up. And release down. Go ahead and bring those knees back into alignment with our hips. And we're going to tuck the toes under. And if you want to walk your hands out just a little bit more probably, we're going to push those hips up to the sky and come into a downward facing dog. So we're looking in between our feet so that our ears are in alignment with our arms. We're tilting the pelvis forward so you get that upside down V look. And then press those heels into the mat. Go ahead and lower the hips. We're going to come to a plank position. When we're in plank, it might feel a little bit strange going from down dog to plank because we have to pull where our heads are a little bit in front of our hands, and that might not feel like you would normally do it, but that's how we do plank. And then let's just go ahead and lower down to the mat. If you need to lower your knees this first time, whatever you're doing, make sure those elbows stay in, and we practice that good posture to come down. So we're lying on our bellies here and pressing into our hands. We're going to lift up our upper bodies, coming into a cobra. And we look forward. Keep those shoulders relaxed and the elbows pressed in. And we'll release back down to the mat, pressing through our plank. Lift those hips up, and we're going to return to that downward facing dog. And let's walk those feet up to the hands. Coming into a forward fold here. Knees are bent slightly so we can relax our chest on our upper thighs here. And once again, try to relax the spine. Our neck is loose, our head is just hanging like a rag doll. And slowly roll up to our mountain pose. Imagine one vertebrae straightening at a time here. Our head will be the last thing that comes up. Coming into this power pose, imagine that energy flowing down our backs, and make sure that that tailbone is tucked under. All four corners of our feet have equal weight distribution. And as the energy flows up the front, feel yourself lifting with it. Pull in that core. Keep the shoulders pressed down and back. Inhale, both hands up. And as we exhale, we'll come into a forward fold. Step back to a downward facing dog. Shifting our weight to our left foot, the right foot's going to raise into a three-legged dog. Keep those hips so that they're square to the earth. Don't let them open up. Pulling that knee into our chest, we'll swing the foot through. First hitting that low lunge, so we're light on our fingers and we can look forward. But then we're going to drop our back knee coming up to our crescent lunge. So active, hands come up. So feel that energy flowing down that left hip flexor and make sure you're pulling back a little bit in this right hip crease. So again, those hips can stay square and that they're not opening up. And we're going to release both hands down, lift the back knee, right foot will come back, downward facing dog. Shift our weight to the right foot, left foot raises into a three-legged dog. Draw that knee into the chest, swing the foot through, coming to our low lunge. Looking forward. Release our back knee. We're going to lift up to that crescent lunge with the left leg forward. Release both hands down. We're going to lift that back knee back up to our low lunge before bringing the left foot back, coming to a plank. Exhale as we lower to our mat. Inhale up to a cobra. Exhale back down to your mat. Press through plank. Lift those hips up, downward facing dog. Gently walk those feet up to our hands. Exhale, forward fold. We'll inhale halfway up to a flat back. You can support yourself on your shin or maybe your thighs. Just make sure you're keeping that neck nice and long. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, root to rise. And then bring our hands back to our heart center, returning to mountain pose. So do all those mental checks we did the first time. Inhale, both hands up. Exhale, forward fold. Step back to our downward facing dog. Shift our weight to our left foot, right foot raises, three-legged dog. Draw the knee into the chest. Swing the foot through, coming to our low lunge. As we look forward and we're light on our fingers, we're going to move that right hand to the inside of the right foot, coming into a lizard pose. You know there's different variations we can do with our lizard pose, so this morning just play around, see what feels good for you. If you want to stay here and it feels like enough of a stretch for you this morning, if you want to drop that back knee, maybe you try to go down on those elbows. And maybe you try to lift that back leg. All right, wherever we are, go ahead and press back up through your positions, making your way to our low lunge. And go ahead and bring that right foot back to meet the left, downward facing dog. Shift our weight to the right foot, left foot raises, three-legged dog. Draw the knee into the chest, swing the foot through, coming to A low lunge, light on our hands, looking forward. Bring that left hand to the inside of the left foot. And again, you get to explore your options on this side. Remember, each of our sides are a little bit different, so give it a try. You can lower that back knee. Maybe come down on your elbows. Maybe raise the back knee. And wherever you are, we're going to press back up, make your way to that low lunge. Left foot will come back to meet the right, coming to a plank. Lower down to the mat. Exhale forward, up, I'm sorry, inhale up to cobra. I'm already on to the next stage. Exhale, lower to your mat. Press up through plank, lift those hips up, downward facing dog. This time, let's go ahead and bend both knees deeply and look to the top of our mat. You can still walk up there if you want. You can take a big step, maybe take a skip or a hop. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale halfway up to our flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, root to rise. And then bring our hands back down to our heart center. All right, let's inhale our hands up. Exhale as we forward fold. Step back to our downward facing dog. Let's shift our weight to our right foot. Left foot raises into our three-legged dog. Draw that knee in. Swing the foot through so that we can come to a high lunge. So our feet are going to stay parallel. And the back heel is lifted up off of the earth. And once you have your balance, go ahead and look up. Rotating the back foot, we're going to open up to a warrior two. Arms stay level with each other. We're looking out over the front hand. Give a peek down to that knee. Make sure that it's not going over your toes or that it's not rolling in or out. Keeping the knee bent, we're gonna lower that right hand, reach up to the sky for a reverse warrior. And coming back through and around, we're gonna go to an extended side angle. So our left forearm is resting on that left thigh. Right hand is reaching up. So you get a nice straight line from your fingers down to your ankle. Keep those shoulders open. So that's why we want to try to look up to the sky. That helps us do that. And we'll go ahead and cartwheel both hands down, coming back to a low lunge. Left foot comes back to meet the right. Downward facing dog. And shift our weight to our left foot. Right foot raises. Three-legged dog. Pull that knee into the chest as we swing the foot through, coming into a high lunge. Opening up, we'll come into a warrior two. Make sure our body is centered and not reaching forward here. So maybe give it a little pull back towards that straightened leg. Right hand comes up, left hand down as we come into a reverse warrior. And all the way through to extended side angle. Make sure you're looking up to the sky to open up those shoulders. Both hands down, coming into a low lunge before bringing that right foot back to meet the left. And we'll do our vinyasa flow here. So exhale as we lower to the earth. Inhale up to either cobra or up dog. Press through your plank. Lift those hips up, downward facing dog. Bend both knees deeply. Look to the top of your mat. Make your way there. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway up to our flat back. Exhale, forward fold. As we inhale, instead of just root to rise, we're going to come up through chair. So sit back. Hands are reaching up. Eyes follow the hands. And stand up to our mountain pose. Shifting our weight to our left foot. We're going to lift that right leg so that that foot comes back behind us. See if you can reach it with the right hand. And then you can try to go into our dancer pose or stay with just that right leg lifted. And we'll come back up, lower that foot. And breathe. Shifting our weight to the right foot. Left foot raises. See if you can grab the top of the left foot. And if you want to try dancer on this side. Coming back through our standing. Lower the left foot. We're going to sit back into our chair once more. Before going into a forward fold. Keeping the left hand planted, we're going to lift that right leg straight out behind us. Not all fancy, literally just straight out. Keep those toes flexed. And you're going to draw that right hand up alongside, coming into a half moon. Shoulders are open. If you can look up to that right hand, do so or not. And we're going to go ahead and lower that leg. Exhale, forward fold. And then we're going to plant the right hand and lift the left leg out behind us. And then if you can, draw that left hand up off of your mat, reaching for the sky. If your eyes can go up, do that. And left hand comes down, left foot. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, root to rise. And we'll pull those hands down to our heart center. Inhale up. Exhale, forward fold. Step back to our downward facing dog. And we're going to lower our knees, coming back to our tabletop position. We're going to extend the right leg out, lift it so we're parallel to the earth. And then draw that knee into the chest, lower the knee, right knee to the right wrist. We'll scooch of that foot, the right foot up towards the left hand, and then slide back, coming into a pigeon pose. Now this time, instead of doing reclining pigeon or peaceful, we're gonna keep our upper body strong and see if you can bring both hands up, coming into a prayer pose. Go ahead and release. And make your way back to our tabletop position. Extend the left leg out. Draw the knee into the chest. Lower that left knee to the left wrist. Scooch that left foot up towards the right hand. Sliding back into your pigeon. And again, see if you can draw your hands up, coming to prayer pose. Release the hands down. We're going to swing that right leg in front of us. And bring both feet out so that the knees are in line with the hip and the feet then are about a foot apart. Sitting up nice and tall. We're going to go ahead and roll back to a cat pose. Inhale back up, nice and tall. Exhale, cat. And inhale. As we come through center, we're going to try to tilt back and come into a boat pose. Do this one stage at a time just to see where you are today. And we'll release down to the mat, returning to our easy pose from the beginning of our session. Big cleansing breaths in and out. We're going to do a little bit of our shoulder exercises here. So we're going to open both arms out. We're going to bring the right hand up, the left hand down. Reach up your back and pat yourself on the back. You did a great job today. See if your fingertips can touch as we come into an open cow face. Breathe. And as we release, back out, we'll bring that right hand across. Left hand will grab that right wrist. Gently pull that arm a little bit further. And open up wide. Left hand up, right hand down. Reach that right hand up our back. Left hand, pat yourself on the back. Let your fingertips touch. Open cow face. Upper body's nice and tall here. Open both arms up. Draw the left hand across the body. Right hand will grab that wrist. Gently pull a little bit further. And as we release, we can clasp the fingers, roll out the wrist. And go ahead and release. Extend those legs out in front of us, coming into a staff pose briefly. Back's nice and tall. Feel that energy going out of the crown of our head. And just make your way to your mat. Laying down. Slide down. So some of me still on the camera. Sorry. We'll keep that left foot bent up here. We're going to extend the right foot up to the sky. Go ahead and do your ankle circles. And go in the opposite direction. And release down to your mat. Extend the left foot up to the ceiling, sky. And do our ankle circles on this leg. Opposite direction. And we're going to pull both knees into the chest, give them a hug, rock side to side. And we're going to draw the feet up to come into a happy baby. So think about the knee coming towards the armpit and reach up on the outside of the foot. Same on the other side. And continue your rocking side to side. And go ahead and draw those legs in together. Give them one more big hug. We're going to extend the left foot out. Our left hand is going to grab that right leg and pull it over towards the left. Right arm will extend out beside us. Make sure we keep both shoulders anchored to the earth. And if you want to look over that right hand, you can do that. Coming up through center, give it one last hug, and then extend that right leg out. We'll draw the left leg in. Right hand grabs the shin of that left leg and pulls it over our bodies to the right side. Extend that left hand out beside us, anchoring both shoulders to the earth. And if you can look over your left shoulder. And come back up through center. Plant that left foot. You can draw the right foot in. Have our heels as close to our sits bones as we can get them. Both arms are extended beside us. And by tilting that pelvis first, pressing that lower back into the mat, we're going to begin peeling up off of the mat, coming into a supported bridge. So we're lifting our hips up. We're resting on our shoulders and our feet. Go ahead and release back down to the mat. And we're going to extend first one leg and then the other as we come into our Shavasana. So if you want to grab any props that makes this more comfortable, now's the time to do that. Cleansing breath in, cleansing breath out. With every breath, we're going to start relaxing a little bit more. Try to just let go already. Feel yourself getting heavier into your mat. And we're going to go through our body scan. So make sure our toes are relaxed. Invite that relaxation to move through the feet and up into the calves. Release the thighs and the hips. Let your legs roll open slightly. Relax the hands, allowing the fingers to curl naturally. And again, invite that relaxation to travel up through your arms and around into the shoulders. Relax the neck and the jaw, letting your mouth open just slightly. And relax the muscles of the face. Imagine pushing all of the stress and tension up through the crown of your head. Make sure you haven't tightened any other muscle group as you focus on something else. And breathe. Big inhale, big exhale. You can either stay lying on your back, or you can roll over to one side, cradling your head with your arm. One of the yoga practices is to tell the truth. On the outside, it might look like, okay, I'm not supposed to lie to other people. But I challenge you to think about what that looks like personally as well. Are we honest with ourselves? The thoughts that we allow in our mind to begin with, and the thoughts that we act upon. Are you staying true to the person that you are striving to be? Return your thoughts to your intention that you set. Once you feel centered and ready, you can press yourself up and join me in a seated position. Drawing both hands together at our heart center. Let our chin sink to our chest. And it's important that you close your yoga practice in whatever manner suits you today. Maybe you're really proud of yourself, that you did a good job, and you can tell yourself, good job. Maybe it's just thank you or amen. I offer you these thoughts. Remind yourself you are strong. You are loved. And I am so grateful that you spent some time with me today and allowed me to be a part of your journey. And namaste. See you guys next time. In fact, the next time I get to see you, still not live yet. Next Saturday we'll be together. So I look forward to seeing everybody then. Bye-bye.